Yo, what's going on, folks? It's Justin here from CamLHD.com. Today I'm going to be talking about who and why someone should hire a manager or an agency if they're a content creator. You know, they're running the OnlyFans. They got the loyal fans. They might be live streaming. They might have a tube site where they're collecting ad revenue, whatever, making custom videos. Who should hire a manager and agency and why they should? First, I'm going to talk about why. Then I'm going to talk about the who. So, backstory, I was talking to my old GF. It was a long time ago, like maybe more than a year ago, when I was kind of coming up with the idea of CamLHD.com, like running a marketing and promotion agency specifically for adult content creators. And I asked her, I was like, would you spend $500 a month for somebody to promote your OnlyFans? And she was like, her first thought was, no, that's expensive. But I was like, well, hold on. What if on the first you spent $500 and on the 30th of the month you had $3,000 in, recurring paying subscribers, plus tips and plus, pay-per-view messages and all that kind of shit. And she's like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. Because when I first asked, she was thinking like buying a couch or a treadmill that hasn't been used in who knows how many months. But what it really is this goes into my first point. It's an investment, and you also need to see or want to see a return on your investment. That's point number one. Why you'd want to hire an agency or manager. You want to see a return on your investment. If you're spending $1,000 a month and you're getting $2,000 a month in new subscribers, that are directly that can be directly attributed to the efforts of that marketing agency or from that manager, you're good. That's good. If those are $2,000 in subs that aren't coming, like that's outside of your regular efforts, you're used to seeing an extra $600 in subs every month, and all of a sudden now you have $2,600 in subs because you hired this guy for $500 a month. Makes sense, right? Makes sense. So you want to see a return on your investment. Part two is you want to leverage their skill set. So say you've been at a very consistent $4,000 a month for the past 6 months. You just every month 6,000. So it's like clockwork. It might be 3,900 this month, 4,100, 4,200, 3,600, whatever. You want to be able to bring somebody on that can do something that you can't do. Because if you're at a plateau, and there's no really nice way of saying this, if you've hit a plateau, you don't have the skill set to take yourself to the next level, to break that plateau and take yourself to the next echelon, so to speak. You don't have the skills to go to 5,000, 10,000, 25,000. It's just what it is. So you hire somebody, and it doesn't necessarily need to be like a month-to-month thing or a long-term thing. It could be just for 1 month where they come on, they see what you're doing, they say, hey, check this out. Are you promoting on this site? Are you uploading your stuff here? Have you used this language in your captions? Just those small tidbits of almost like a one-time consulting thing where they say, just kind of give you that seed of knowledge that takes you and breaks that plateau. So the next month you're 7,200, like, oh yay, I finally cracked the code. You're leveraging their skill set. You're paying for, just to bring you to the next level. And again, you should net a return on your investment. Part three, if you're going to hire somebody for more of a full-time thing, it's to save you time. You want to save time. If you're waking up in the morning and you're immediately answering DMs, you're creating some content, you're uploading, you're scheduling, you're doing your promotions, you're answering more DMs. Next thing you know, it's dinner time. Maybe you want more free time for yourself. So you go, if I can spend $300 a week to get back 30 hours of my week, I'm sure you can make more than $10 an hour in that time. You create more content to upload more, do more promotions, study up more promotion techniques so you can expand. But to save you time and this goes into point 4, it also allows you to do things you want to do. Because once you get to the point where you're making the the buku dollars, you're making that, 5 figures a month, 6 figures a month. The only thing you need to be there for is creating the content. Everything else can be outsourced. Everything else can be hired out. You can sit there, take, Sundays and Wednesdays are your content creation days. You take a bunch of photos, a bunch of videos, you send it to an agency, and they plan it out, schedule it, upload it, promote it, answer your DMs, the whole shebang-a-bang. That can all be outsourced. So if you like creating content and you like doing your own promotions, but you don't like answering DMs and trying to sift through the tire kickers and the perverts and the unsolicited pictures, you can pay somebody to do that for you and only focus on the things you want. So 4 things. Return on your investment. If you're going to spend money, you should be making at least that much back. You can leverage your skill set because they might know something that you don't know. They can save you time, and they can also allow you to do things you want to do. So, with that being said, who should hire a manager or agency? Or a virtual assistant if you're, just starting out. However, I take it back. Just starting out is not the language I wanted to use, because anybody who's just starting out should not be trying to outsource, okay? Because that's a recipe for disaster, because you might get, taken for a ride. If you don't know how to do something, or you don't know what you're capable of, you don't know how to promote, you don't know how to get that, your first 10 subscribers, we'll say. And this is an arbitrary number. It could be 1, it could be 100. Who knows? This is just me running my suck. If you're just starting out, you don't know what you don't know yet. So just try to figure out as much as you can before you sit there and go, yeah, I'm just really not good with seducing people through text. So I'm going to hire a VA to run my DMs or answer or run my inbox. And that's cool. If you're making a few dollars a month, yeah, get a VA or a freelancer, kind of just train them to be a second you and do all the things you don't want to do, or not necessarily all the things you don't want to do, but the things you don't want to do, the worst of the worst. If you really hate, promoting because you just die a little on the inside and feel like it's too salesy for you, find somebody and say, hey, here's where I want you to post and promote. Here's the content. I need the content every month or every week. You just handle that. As long as I see that I'm growing every month, I'll keep you on board. Easy. Granted, you're going to have to tell them what language you use. It's not that easy, but there is some, ease there. So you can focus on creating content and doing the things you do want to do. Once you're at the point where you're making full-time income, not necessarily full-time, but you're making, depending on the cost of living, $3,000 to, $8,000 a month. Then it's time to, not necessarily time, but then you can look into hiring like a manager, somebody in a managerial role where they're more, you don't have to train them. They know what they're doing. And with them knowing what they're doing, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. You're probably going to, instead of paying hourly, you're going to be paying either a flat monthly rate or a percentage off a baseline. That's just what it is. And a percentage off baseline is just, if you're making a consistent $5,000 a month, you shouldn't be paying them a percentage off the $5,000 because you got there. But anything above that, that's what you pay a percentage off of. So it might be 20% above that. So if you start making $10,000 a month, well, you're only paying 20% off that additional $5,000 a month. That's all that is. So yeah, then you look for a manager, and they might have a team with them that that they hired out and are doing a lot more behind the scenes type stuff. But at that point, yeah, you're making full time. Then look for a manager or somebody that is in that managerial role, not necessarily somebody that's running the show for you. Again, if you haven't watched the full length hiring a manager video, check that out. But remember, whoever you hire, they work for you, not the other way around. Whether it's a freelancer, a manager, or an agency, they work for you. So there shouldn't be any kind of, you shouldn't ever feel like you're being bossed around. Just keep that in mind. And those people that are making buku dollars, 10, 15, 30, 50, 100,000 a month, look for an agency. It's going to be more expensive, but you're also going to have a whole fucking team behind you. You might only have one point of contact. Like in this case, for the most part, I answer all the emails. I'm sitting in direct line of communication. Then the team does a lot of the stuff, a lot of the promotions at Camel Agency. Then you look for an agency. Again, it's more expensive, but hey, flat rate $2,000 a month, but they're probably gonna bring you, 5, 10, 15, 20,000 additional dollars every month. That's what it is. So, yeah, if you're looking to, if you don't like doing promotions and marketing, you want some marketing experts behind you that can, watermark your stuff and distribute it for you, go to cammolagency.com, read up. There's a shitload of articles, all kinds of stuff on there. You can go and apply, and look forward to working with you. Peace.